this again. Hello.
Hi, particles.
So, we're back. It's been a couple weeks because life is busy and we are slacking on our commitment.
And slack.
We need to be better. Let's be honest.
We're going to be better.
We're all busy with like good things.
Yes.
So
Thank
it's
God for
somewhat
that.
acceptable, but you know, 'tis the season. We'll go through seasons in our life. But either way, we'll still put out some good juju.
Yes, we will.
When we can. And so we were just discussing that we think we were going to delve into breaking cycles, because that's something that we've both been doing and we think it's good, solid things to, you know, good idea to share.
Breaking cycles. Like cycles, oftentimes we don't even realize that we're in one until something happens that snaps our brain back to what happened last time and the time before that and the time before that. And we're like, wait, you know, why does this keep happening to me? Or why does this same type person keep coming in my life? Or, you know.
Where this is going. We haven't discussed this before
No.
we saved it.
Yeah, we saved it for y'all. But yeah, I was telling Erica probably like a week ago that I wanted to do something about breaking cycles, because I was just, you know, we all get, I think, revelations about cycles that we're in or have been in. And oftentimes we just think to ourselves, well, I think other people have as well. Well, you know, I'm gonna do different this next time. And I remember reading something one time that said, I kept walking down this road. Every day I kept walking down the same road. And there was this huge like pothole in the road that I kept tripping in and falling in that pothole and like hurting my leg over and over again. And finally one day I realized maybe it's just the road. Like maybe it's not anything else except the road I'm picking. Like, let's pick a different road. It sounds so simple. It's so hard. And especially if you're like enmeshed in it so deeply that there's like layers of it where there's like cycles on top of cycles inside of cycles everywhere. It's crazy when you start seeing these cycles in your life, what they can reveal for you. And I think they can tell you a lot about yourself if you're willing to say why. Ask yourself why. It's just so simple. Sit yourself down and be like, okay, inner self, why is this? And then really answer your questions, because they are there. The answers are there. To why you keep doing this, whatever your cycle is. If you keep, you know, if every time you try to better yourself in a certain way, you wind up, you know, back down, knocked down at the bottom because of circumstance or people in your life or your choices. Why does it keep happening that way? Like, you're creating it. You are. Like, whether you know it or not, you are. We are always creating. So if our reality is sucking, we probably need to change what we're creating and realize, oh crap, I'm creating this. I'm creating this by expecting this, by putting it out there that this is gonna happen. I'm convinced of it, by convincing everyone that'll listen that I have the worst life ever, that I'm the most damaged person they've probably ever met. Of course, I mean, and then you wonder why, oh, you know, I don't know why I keep winding up, you know, in this bad situation or in this bad feeling or in this bad mood or whatever. And yeah, so these are just things that I wanted to bring up because I thought it was a great topic. And it can be something as small.
And it's something we've both been working on. So we've always like kind of revert back to something we are working on.
Yeah.
And like our self-awareness and our self-growth. So like we're super passionate about it at the time as well. And
Yeah.
if anybody else is ever on this journey, and maybe not right now, but if somebody stumbles across it
later
at some point in their life, or if even before, I love it when I get a little seed planted.
Yes.
And then when I do go through it, because you've done that so many times where you've said something, and then when it hit home and I just knew it, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes all the time I've heard that or I read that somewhere. Now it makes sense to me, and I can use that as a, you know, a skill or a tool or something while I'm going through it.
Exactly.
So we feel like
it's what saves us all.
Anytime we have a good idea or concept, or we're going through something, which we are both going through, like just leaps and bounds of self-growth over here, then we're like, we need to share that. It's a good word, and somebody else, you know, hopefully at least one person is a win if one person sees this and it helps them at any point in any of their lives.
Yep. And for me, it's been a tad bit overwhelming. I'm going to be real, because like I said, I have like realized some cycles that I've done to myself, anything like from small little things. Cycles aren't bad as long as you're evolving, as long as every time you go around that cycle, you're a bigger, better person and you're learning something new. But if you're damaging yourself every time, if it is self-damaging to you, then, and if you're hurting in any way, then it's not a good cycle and you need to break it. And breaking it is not easy, because you think it will be because you're just gonna do a little something different, but right the very next week, you're back to your old self again, because your mind creates thoughts that perpetuate the cycle. So you have to retrain your mind at the same time, retrain your habits, your behaviors. It's very, very hard. So for me, personally for me, and I'm just telling you guys, for me, I'm on a mental health journey this year. So this is what I've decided on my own before I have an appointment, coming with a therapist that I haven't even seen yet. But I just do want to say about the cycles, guys, that God has been revealing to me little cycles, medium-sized cycles, and large cycles that have been damaging to me, that I am perpetuating, like my own cycles that I am choosing. And I've known this for years. I think my kids told me this probably 20 years ago. But that's not the revelation. The revelation is how I created it. The revelation is how I can uncreate it, how I can change it, and how I don't have to think this way. And that when these thoughts come, I literally can, because I've been going through a hard time like this year with some past with some past trauma that can cause like PTSD-ish symptoms. And I've had a lot of those symptoms in the past year. Would you say 2? 10? Never mind.
Hold on, repeat the question.
How long have I been crazy?
That's what I thought she said, and then I heard 2 years, because I was trying to, for one, I was looking up the didgeridoo, okay, because I knew I couldn't think of the name of it, and it's like brrrr, and it's just, anyway.
That's the name of it?
Yeah. And so anyway. And anyway, out of the side over here, I thought, like, I've been having this struggle for like 2 years, and I was like, wait a minute, for 10 years? Try.
It's been a minute.
We don't believe in time.
Yeah.
50?
Right.
No.
Okay. No. Yes.
But for real.
So
not crazy.
But
though.
not
That's
knowing.
better.
Yeah. Not knowing there was even an issue.
I have been telling her for at least 15 years, which I'm not trying to take any credit for, but I've started becoming self-aware and like going through my spiritual awakening like probably 15 years ago. It was right when I had Xander. And he's 15 now. So that's when I really started self-exploration and meditation and self-reflection and becoming more self-aware and picking up on basically turned into a therapist, picking up on underlying things. So when like you would have a symptom that I considered, especially when she got physically ill, I kept repeating, and she thought I was crazy. She thought I was crazy because I kept repeating.
Because when you're in those things, you're trying to fix those things. Those cycles that you're in, you're trying to fix them every time.
You're fixing the temporary fix. I'm like, I'll correct
instead of
this
going down a different road,
instead of just digging deep and like solving the root of the problem.
I kept taking the same road and running into the same huge blockages in it because they weren't getting moved. I wasn't facing them, and I wasn't dealing with them or admitting they were even there. Didn't even know they were there for most of the time. Even when she was telling me I had issues, I was like, "You're the one with issues."
Before we get too distracted with our awesomeness, so a big thing I think for if like you said, people don't know sometimes they're in cycles. A lot of us don't, because we get into our own life. And we just keep like going. We just get up and we live. And that's understandable. And we forget sometimes that like there's a big wide world out there. I was just recently saying it to Lisa as well. Like, this too shall pass. And we forget when we get in the same, routine or whatever. take a step out, go do something you don't normally do, because then you'll see like the world is still turning. There's other things, there's other options. It doesn't have to be this way, but when we keep doing it, we forget that there is another way.
We do.
But I think a first step, if somebody is unsatisfied or is dealing with some of these same things, I think like the first step that I would recommend to start working on these things, or seeing if there is things that need to be worked on, would be self-reflection. Like to be still, to be quiet. I have found that to be the most helpful, because then those things do start stemming. Like I'm like to talk to myself. It does sound crazy.
Answers start coming to the surface.
Yes, I'm like, okay, why do I like? And that has made me so much more peaceful. It's like if I'm defensive about something, or if I'm ill, and I stop and I be quiet, and I'm like, why do I have that reaction? Where did that come from?
Yes.
Why do I feel that way?
This is cycle breaking.
Yes.
Just by asking yourself.
And then when you come down to it, you're like, okay, so I don't like the way that made me feel, or I don't like being this way, or I don't like being aggressive, or why did I then
why did I go off like that? Why did I go off emotionally?
Yes,
why am
I like running from this trauma, or why am I just different things like that, to just self-reflect, or just to be still. Sometimes even if you're not asking yourself a question, things will start to creep up, and I feel like
they do, even when you're not asking.
I feel like our higher selves, our inner conscious,
can't wait to get out.
Yeah, and I believe it's all knowing, and it does know all these things, and it knows how to be at peace and live to your fullest potential. But life adds layers.
Yes.
So instead, like, we're devolving. So if you can shed through self-reflection, shed those layers, you'll be back to
evolving again.
Yes.
Like you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
But we spend a lot of time. I love the way she put that, devolving, by adding layers. Oh my God, that is so simple and true. We just add and add. We don't really. I say we often when I'm talking about me. She corrects me, and she's like, "No, you." But when I say we, it's just easier for me to not take full, responsibility, I guess, for whatever weirdness I have. Yes, but for me, like everything she's saying is hitting home. Like, because these are things my blind self did not see. Like, I could not see that these were that big of an issue. I was like, I've gotten over that. I've gotten over that, like years and years ago.
And I'm like, and
I really thought I was over. Yes. And it took it getting very bad. It took me hitting menopause. Let's be real, because my hormones are crazy. Your emotions are crazy. If any of you women out there have had menopause or have been around your mom or anyone who has, no, it's not real easy.
Throwing pill bottles at your ex's head.
Oh, when you go off emotionally and lose your mind and are afraid of going to jail, that's when you know that you need to get a little more emotional intelligence, because you are acting like you're 12.
What was your breaking point, though? You said
it was stupid. What was it?
No, it was like you said, like you really felt like you had lost your mind, and I don't remember why you felt that way. I don't remember exactly, but you were like, I literally thought that I was needed to be in the psych
acting
ward.
violent. I'm not a violent person. I don't hit people, let alone throw things at walls. I don't do that.
Yeah, she was like, I was so worried about my psychological state that I realized I had to start doing some self-reflection.
Yes.
Part of it was menopause, but the hormones.
I was blaming everything on that, though, and it was deeper than that.
Yes.
And as I go along, I'm realizing,
accentuating some of the deeper needs that needed to be handled. The deep, the healing.
For facts, a lot of different time. It's God's timing, guys, is what it is, and it just things have woken me up and made me realize either go get help, or you're gonna make other people suffer, because now that you know that, like, you need some mental help, you're responsible to go get that. You are an adult. If you know you're acting like you're 12 when you're 52, then go get help. If you can't control it, which at times I couldn't. I was like, oh my God.
She thinks she'll have this bad
I see how toddlers feel. I see how they feel.
It was kind of
they have a right to be angry and throw themselves on the floor, okay? It's great.
Oh, I hope you remembered where we left off, or I will have to pause it and rewind.
That's the end of that.
No, I've got things to say.
Oh, okay.
Camera hog.
All right.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No, I will just wrap it up with a couple things that I wanted to say on this topic.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to reshoot that because I was picking my nose.
I'm leaving
no,
it in.
I've got a couple things
This girl would throw me under the bus so fast and so hard.
Add on this topic.
The picking the nose is the least I can do to repay her. I mean, somebody's thinking about you, or money's coming. I can't remember what my grandma used to tell me. Okay, she's claiming it.
Palms are
claiming
money.
it both.
Nose is somebody's talking about you.
Okay.
So
I just want ears. But go ahead.
Oh, I have to Google it.
Company is coming if something itches. What happens if your butt
Hey,
itches?
Jay. Somebody's food things texted.
Pause.
Okay, no, for real. Okay, so while you were speaking, I jotted down a couple notes that I wanted to refer back to. So I had recently kind of had a revelation that I feel like I can definitely same topic it. And I had already told her and Lisa about it, but so breaking cycles. So I do believe that, like she was saying in the very beginning, we have certain lessons that our soul is here to learn. Like, this is just a school to me, like coming here. And I think it's only like the bravest, of us that really choose to come here to earth and like fast track on this spiritual level and learn and grow as fast, because you're on a negative plane. So you can either learn things, stay home and learn wherever you go when you die, and learn, vicariously, or you can come here and fast track it and experience it and really grow your soul quickly. So that being said, I feel like if you are in a cycle, you will keep repeating that cycle until you do break it and learn from it. So you may, have the same type of relationship over and over again, or the same type of just be put in the same situation, like she said, over and over and over again. Because you didn't learn whatever it was you were supposed to learn, or you didn't grow whatever you were supposed to grow the first however many times you did it. So I recently realized this while I was self-reflecting and was like, holy smokes. Like, it was about this thing that I've been kind of putting off, that they want me to do they want me to public speak and do like a volunteer thing and try to get babies sponsored, which I do, as we all know. I volunteer, but this would be me getting up and speaking and telling my story in front of an audience and, doing it on my own. Rectified. Fixed.
Thank you.
So I had this revelation the other day while I was considering this, and how I was starting to feel gross. I had felt gross for a couple of days. I had little antsy, and I was like, why? I've been doing all the things, all the good things: yoga, meditating, jogging, reading, I haven't done anything bad.
Right. All the good things. She's been busy doing a lot of them.
I was not doing a couple of the good things that I have actually felt called to do. This scary thing being one of them. I have put no effort into it whatsoever, about even just trying to get an outline. Like, I was like, just do maximum 2 minutes. Like, start getting an idea, go through the paperwork. You don't have to do it. You're not making that commitment right now. But just put in a little effort toward it. So anyhow, that got me to thinking about how I need to just squash my fear and do this, because I was talking to my God, my higher self. And I felt like the answer that I got when I started praying about this was, it was it wasn't like an intense, it was a very relaxed, hey girl, so no big deal, it's up to you. You can either do this now and or you can do this in the next time I present it, or you can do it, grow fast and quickly and be better for it now, or however many lives it takes you. If you want to keep repeating this cycle for a year, 10 years, 10 lives, cool, I'll keep throwing it at you. And I'm like, no, I want to get it. I need to just do this. Yeah, I want to grow quickly. I want to enjoy and not feel, that fear now, and really start living more and enjoying more now, because every time I do something like that, I feel so great about it, and I feel more accomplished, I feel more courageous.
Same.
I take on more, things to do, and just I get more experiences and more opportunities, and just everything that unfolds from it is good. So I'm like, but it wasn't a stressful thing. Like, it never, I don't feel like God is ever intense, I told you to do this and you need to do it. For me, personally. I just felt like it was just like hey, I get it. Do you want to do it now, or you want to do it later?
Or you can fast track it, but this is your destiny. This is your fruition. Hey, if you can say it like I say it, you're French.
We're all about making up words on this podcast, okay?
But I just feel like if it's something you're called to do, it's gonna get done. But I think she's right.
If you want to start feeling good about it now, or you want to keep doing the cycle,
and that is why I'm doing the uncomfortable.
I'd rather grow now and just get it done and move on to the next fun thing.
Perception. It's 9/10 of the law. Anyway,
which has been everything.
I've been on this kick lately about everything being 9/10 of the law.
So speaking of cycles, We've discussed the definition of insanity, which is repeating the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And if you don't like your results, this is not for people who are out there living their best life. But if you don't feel like you are, try something new. Break the cycle, because otherwise you're going to get the same results and continue to waste precious, happy times in your life. The other affirmation that I did a lot, and I don't so much do it now because I have kind of broken a lot of these cycles, was your new life will cost you your old one. You have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with losing. Or, I mean, is it really a loss? But you have to be okay with change. Right. And change is something we all run from and we're all scared of, which is ridiculous. Like, because, and we've all been there. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, it's inevitable. Life is constantly changing.
That's the one thing you can
nothing
count on
you can do about it.
Is it's going to change.
So you have, but
constantly,
just
whether we like it or not.
Pep yourself up for that now, so it's not so scary.
I think that's to remind us that we are not in control of everything.
It does change. Like you're like, okay, yeah, like it is going to be a little awkward. It was awkward for me at first to make new habits and new hangouts and new things that I did. Or sometimes still, like I get bored very easily. And I'm like, Erica, don't do that. That's an unhealthy bored habit. Again, where I've picked up many new ones. And so at first it was uncomfortable. And even still sometimes now, I'm like, oh, I'm itching. I really want to do this thing. And I don't, though. I immediately push that thought out of my head, and I'm like, ooh, because I could get on there, I could be like, let's just do it. And if I overthink it, then I might, do something unhealthy. But instead, I'm like, ooh, immediately, just don't even dwell on that. Let me go for a drive. Let me pick up my uke. Let me do something. So,
and for me, it was as little as let me make a plan with my daughter. So we can end this one here if you would like.
I think that's great.
Love you guys. Comment down below on any experiences that you guys have had with cycles or anything that you know about it, because I'm just telling you what I know. I do what I've learned recently and what I've done recently. Like, this is definitely just the tip of the iceberg. I don't have all the answers for sure on that.
Oh no, these are all, as always,
but if you can catch them, you can change them. That I do know.
Our opinions, and any advice you have, we always appreciate. We love to explore new options, new ideas. We also are on a journey of self-growth and healing, so we're open to anything.
And all that.
Yes. And as always, like, I just want to show, like, so much gratitude.
Yes.
So much gratitude that you guys take the time out to watch us and support us. And we genuinely do love you all.
Yes, we do.
Until next time.
See you guys.
Oh.
That's okay. You don't even have to.
Stop it?
No.
Just keep it going?
Sure.